Hello class 8th, I am here with the second part of the chapter, A Gift of Chappals. Previous part was about the description of a kitten and Mridu's arrival at her aunt's house, and this part is about Lali's learning the music lessons as well as about a beggar and the children's handing over the pair of chappals to that beggar. Let's start. Now what happens? Mridu kept up to the window. Lali was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring, her elbows jutting out and her eyes grazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was bony figure of the music master. So now, in the previous part we had discussed that there was a sound of preach, and it was actually the sound being produced by the violin, which was being played by that girl, okay, Lali. So these children who were very much curious to know about Lali and her learning lessons in music, they went to the window to see who was there and how they were doing all that. And they saw that Lali was sitting a little distance away from her teacher, and she was also catching very strangely, awkwardly, very strangely, her violin and bowstring. Bowstring, you know, it's a string of an archer's bow. You will see in the picture. And her elbows were jutting out and her eyes were glazed with concentration. Means she was very much focused on learning the notes being told to her by her teacher. And in front of her, with most of his back to the window, was sitting a bony figure of the music master. Means music master was a very thin and lean person. He was sitting in front of her, and most of his back was to the window. Now, he had mostly bald head with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears and an old-fashioned tuft. Okay, these are the physical features of the music master, how it looked like. Hanging hair is the meaning of fringe. Okay, hanging hair. He had mostly bald head. Actually, his head was not having any hair. Most of the scalp was without hair. He had mostly bald head with a fringe of, means group of hair which were hanging, and they were oiled also, black hair which were falling around his ears, and he was also carrying an old-fashioned tuft. Tuft is a bunch of hair. You know, in Hindi it is chutiya. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck. He was also wearing a golden chain. It was shining, gleaming on his skinny neck, and a diamond ring glittered on his hand. He was also wearing a diamond ring. It was also shining on his hand. When it glided up and down the stem of the violin, mean when he was trying to play the violin, his ring was also shining. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold bordered vesty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. So it is about the foot. One of the feet was coming out of, it was sticking out from beneath his vesti. Vesti, you know, it's a dhoti. In Tamil it is dhoti, and edge is the borders, dhoti borders, edges, sides. Its sides were golden bordered. So his foot was coming out of it, and it was beating. His foot was beating time on the floor, like 1, 2, 3, 4, in this way. Okay, with the scrawny big toe, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. Scrawny, you know, very thin and lean. So with his foot, with his toe, he was beating the time. So this was their position. They were sitting in this position. He played a few notes, and Lali stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless. So he was playing some notes on violin, and Lali was trying to follow him, and she was finding herself very helpless as she was not able to understand him Here you can see in the picture Ravi, Meena and Mridu. They are looking inside actually they are peeping through the window about the music class, and here the music teacher and Lali, they are sitting. You can see here, this is the bow string and here is the violin, and this is the basti edge which is golden colored, and out from the this basti is coming out his foot, right? This is the picture. Then what happens, let's see. And she was looking very unhappy and helpless and unhappy in her hands. Means she was not able to follow the notes of her teacher. What a difference! The music master notes seem to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. One of the children has said these words, that the music master's notes, they are like floating up and down, they're jumping up and down and settling somewhere, means they are invisible for the girl. She is not able to follow the instructions through the notes of music by her teacher. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along. It was means the notes were like the wheels of a train which are totally fit in they are fit smoothly in the rails, and they are running very fast. Means the notes were being played by the teacher very fast, and she was not able to understand. As Ravi said, these words were spoken by Ravi. Mridu stared at that huge bee-ringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin's stem, making lovely music. Mridu was looking at that hand. It was wearing a ring, bee-ringed. Okay, the music master was wearing a ring, bee-ringed. And Mridu stared, looked at that huge bee-ringed hand which was moving very effortlessly and up the violin's stem, and it was creating very lovely music. Means he was creating, his violin was creating very lovely music with his hands. Squawk. There was Lali derailing again. Squawk, it's a shrill noise. Means she tried to play upon the violin, but it had a very shrill voice in her violin, and she was again derailing. Means she was getting out of the track again. Amma, came a wail from the gate. Amma, oh. Then suddenly somebody started crying like Amma, Amma. The voice was coming from the wail. Wail was coming from the gate. Voice, wail. Wail means sort of crying, as if somebody is crying. Ravi, send that beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda where she was chatting with Pati. She was talking to the grandmother, and she instructed Ravi to send that beggar away. Actually, it was the wail of the beggar who had come for the alms there at the gate, and mother instructed him to send him back. So she was sitting with Tapi, not Pati. Tapi and Pati both are having same meanings. Grandmother. Here, look. He has been coming here every day for the past week, and it is time he found another house to beg from. Pati explained to Tapi. So Pati was telling Tapi that he is coming time and again, and this time he should go some other house for the alms. We are giving him something daily, so he should move to some other house. Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out. So the children, they went to the gate to send the beggar out. The beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. He had already entered the garden through the gate, and he was feeling at home as if the people of the home were known to him. He was feeling at home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the alms to appear. So what is given? His upper cloth that he was wearing, he had spread it on under the neem tree as he wanted to take rest there, leaning against the trunk. Apparently mean clearly he was ready, prepared to take a little snooze. Means he just wanted to sleep there for a short while until the members of the house come with the alms. Alms, you know, it is something that is given to a poor man or woman as charity, like money, clothing or food. Then go away. These were the words said by Ravi. Ravi said Ravi sternly. Sternly means severely, hardly. He said, go away. My Pati says it's time you found another house to beg from. It's the instruction from my mother and grandmother that I should go out and take the alms from other house. The beggar opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each of the children one by one. The ladies of this house, he said at last in a voice choked with feeling, are very kind souls. Now he could not believe, and so his eyes were so wide, and he looked at each of the children and he said, the ladies of this house, they are very generous, they are very kind to me. And his words were choked with feeling, means blocked with feelings, means he was not able to speak even. He could not believe that he was denied for the alms in that house. I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week. Generosity means liberal heartedness or kindness. For the whole week I have been given something to eat by the people of this home. To keep body and soul together means to manage to stay alive. I managed to stay alive through the alms given by this house people. I cannot believe that they would turn me away. I cannot believe that I am being instructed to go away. He raised his voice, Amma, Amma, oh, sad his wail might be. So in this way again he started crying, Amma, Amma, and his wail, his voice was maybe sad, his cries may be sad, but it certainly was not feeble. Feeble means weak, but his voice was not weak. His cry may be sad, but it was not weak. It began in deep. This cry began. Where did it begin? It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in his withered belly. Now here words you have to understand. Rumble. Rumble means to make a low, heavy and continuous sound. And withered means shriveled, or here it may be hungry. Okay. So that wailing, that cry might have started somewhere deep in his withered belly, in his hungry belly, and then that voice came booming out of his mouth. Through his mouth it came outside with its few remaining teeth stained brown. His teeth had been, which were looking very brown with brittle chewing. Brittle, you know, it is some thing to chew, which is found in pan masalas, you might have heard. Ravi, tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukmani. Rukmani again told Ravi that tell him that nothing remains there in the kitchen, everything is over and he has not to come again. He has not to come again, tell him. She sounded fed up, tied off. Okay, she told that tell him, she told Ravi to tell him that nothing is there in the kitchen and he should not come again here. She was fed up with his time and again arrival. Ravi did not have to repeat it all to the beggar. Now Ravi had not to speak the words because what his mother had said had been easy for them all to hear. There under the neem tree, the beggar sat up and sighed. So he had heard the instructions of the lady of the house, and he stood up. Rather, he sat up. He was leaning against the stem of the tree, neem tree. So he sat up and sighed. I will go, he said wearily. Wearily means tiredly. He was tired, exhaustedly. He said, I will go, only let me have a rest here under this tree. The sun is so hot, the tar has melted on the road. So sun is very hot and the coal tar has melted on the road and my feet are already blistered. My feet are already blistered. Look. Wait, yes, here it is. My feet are already blistered. Blistered, you know, boils, bubbles on the skin from burns or rubbing. Okay, chale. My feet are already blistered. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. Bare feet mean without shoes. His feet were bare and they were pink colored peeling blisters on the soles on the lower part of the feet. And peeling means to remove the skin, means skin was also removed due to the heat on the road. I suppose he does not have the money to buy chappals, Mridu whispered to Meena Ravi. She whispered me, Mridu being very kind, she whispered to the boy and girl that probably he might not be having any money to buy chappals. Have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? Is there any old pair of chappals in the house? I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I would have given them to him, and his feet were larger than Mridu's and Meena's. So the boy says that my chappals are very small and yours too would be very small to fit his feet. The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. Means he was getting ready. He was shaking his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. He was ready to get out of the gate. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road. Now he again looked at the road and he was getting afraid of the road because it was so hot on the road. And the road gleaming in the afternoon heat. It was gleaming, it was shining. There was so hot, so heat on the road. He needs something on his feet, Meena said. Meena said he needs something. He should be given something to wear on the feet. His big eye is filling. Her big eye is filling. It's not fair. Means it's not fair. She was not in the favor of not giving anything. She was not in the favor that he should go barefoot from their home. Shh, said Ravi. I am thinking about it. Ravi said, I am thinking about, don't worry. Blubbering. Blubbering means, you should know, to make noise or broken words while crying. Means to speak something very fast or to make noise or speak the words while the words are broken when someone cries. Okay. He says, it's not fair is not going to help. In 2 minutes, he will be frying his feet on that road. In 2 minutes, he will be out of the gate and he will be frying his feet on that road. But he needs a pair of chappals. So where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. So with girls, he goes inside the house. Just as he stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. So when they reached the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on that strange-looking chappals she had looked at when she had come to this house. In the beginning, I had discussed it with you. Ravi, she whispered to him, whose are those chappals? Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby-looking but sturdy old slippers. Shabby, torn or worn, mean dirty-looking, very torn, but they were very strong old slippers. He beamed. His eyes started beaming, started shining, and nodded. Nod means to move, to incline head up and down. Okay. So he was in the favor of giving those old slippers to the beggar. So he said, these are just the right size. He said, picking them up, Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. So the children, they picked up those chappals, mean that pair of chappals, slippers, and went back to the garden. Here, said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man. Means he gave that pair of slippers to that old man. Wear these and don't come back. The beggar stared at the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder, pushed his feet into them and left, muttering a blessing to the children. So the beggar looked at the slippers, hurriedly mean in a very fast pace, fast speed. He threw his towel over his shoulder and pushed his feet into the slippers and left, muttering means slowing, speaking in a very low tone. He gave them blessings. Okay, muttering blessings to the children. He gave them blessings while he was whispering the blessings. And in a minute he had vanished around the corner of the street, and very soon he was out of their vision. The music master, at that time, after that, the music master came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree playing marbles. So the children started playing marbles under the neem tree, and when music master came out, he looked at them, but his was the unappreciative look, mean disapproving look, as if he didn't like their presence at that place. Okay. And then he searched for his chappals in veranda where he had put them. So he started searching for his chappal. Now you would have understood that these chappals, mean this pair of slippers, belong to the music master, which was given by the children to the beggar. So he started searching for his chappals. Lali, he called. After a few moments, she hurried up to him. Have you seen my chappals, my dear? I remember having kept them here. So he inquires from the girl, have you seen my chappals? I had kept them here. And do you know where they might be? Rabi, Mridu and Meena silently watched Lali and music master search every corner of the veranda. They were looking very curiously that music master and Lali were searching every corner of the veranda. He scurried around. Scurry, I had told you to run with quick light steps. Means the music master was looking here and there with quick light steps, looking over the railing, and crouching, mean bending down near the flower pots to look between them. Brand new. Then he said brand new they were brand new chappals. Everybody knew that they were old chappals, but he said brand new. I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them. He went on saying they cost a whole month's fees. Do you know? Means they are so expensive that they are worth a whole month's fees. Soon Lali went into, now they could not find out, they could not search the chappals. So the girl went to the mother. Lali went in to tell her mother. Rukumani appeared looking harassed. Harassed means annoyed, with Pati following her. Grandmother was also coming after her. Where could they be? It is really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. So many vendors come to the door, worried Pati. So Pati was saying, or mother was saying, that where they could be, where could the chappals be? It's really very upsetting to think. How can? Because so many people come here, so many vendors. Vendors are the people who come, who wander around the streets to sell their things. Vendors, fairywalas. So many vendors come to the door. Rukumani caught the sight. Then suddenly Rukumani saw these children. Caught sight of Rabi, Mridu and Meena sitting under the tree, and she inquired from them, have you children? She began, and then seeing they were, she started saying something and she started observing them. Have you children? She began, and then seeing they were curiously quiet. She found that they were curiously quiet, and went on more slowly. She asked something slowly, have you children seen anyone lurking around the veranda? Lurking means hanging out. Did you see somebody coming near the veranda? A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Means she was getting angry now. V-shaped line formed between her eyebrows. Another straight, tighter one appeared in place of her usually soft, pleasant mouth. Now one more line appeared on her soft, pleasant mouth. It was straight and tight. Rukumani was angry, thought Mridu with a shiver. Shiver, you know, she started shivering, and she thought that auntie has got angry. She would not be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with sores on his feet. She tried to tell herself. She was thinking that if auntie also knew about the condition of bare feet and the blister on his feet, means feet of the beggar, then the aunt won't have been so upset. Anyways, taking a deep breath, she cried. So Mridu here started revealing the truth. She said, Rukumani, there was a beggar here, poor thing, he had such boils on his feet. Then auntie said, so? Said Rukumani grimly, turning to Ravi. You gave the music master chappals to that old beggar who turns up here? Children, these days, groaned Pati. Then the grandmother started groaning, cried with misery. These days children are very mischievous. It means that. Amma, didn't you tell me about Karna, who gave away everything he had, even his gold earrings? He was so kind and generous. You had told Karna had given everything to someone and he was so kind and generous. Silly, snapped Rukmani. Karna did not give away other people's things. Karna never gives away the things to other people's things, you know. He only gave away his own. Snapped here means sudden break, means in between she started speaking. But my chappals would not have fitted the beggar's feet. Ravi rushed brashly. Brashly means shamelessly. He kept on saying that my chappals were not fitting his feet. And Amma, if they did fit, would you really not have minded? If my chappals would have fit his feet, then you won't have minded? Ravi, said Rukmani, very angry now. She was getting angry. Go inside this minute. She hurried indoors and brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn new chappals. Gopu Mama, that is Mama of Mridu. She brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn, means he used to wear. Actually, those chappals were not oftenly worn by Gopu Mama. That is why written hardly worn new chappals. These should fit you. Sir, please put these on. I am so sorry. She felt sorry to the music master and said, my son has been very naughty. The music master's eyes lit up. Now seeing new pair of chappals, his eyes lighted up. He put them on, trying not to look too happy. He showed before them that he is not happy. Well, I suppose these will have to do. These will have to do means these will work. These are good. These days children have, these are the words of music master, dear students. Okay. These days children have no respect for elders. What to do? Hanumana incarnate. You know, incarnate is the symbolic or representative of. Here he is calling Ravi incarnate or symbolic of Hanumana, means monkey. He was calling him godly monkey. Only Rama can save such a naughty fellow. Rukmani's eyes flashed, means blinked, means she didn't like such words for her son. She didn't seem to like Ravi being called a monkey, even a holy monkey. She stood stiff. She got stiff means to be hard and straight by the front door. It was clear now. This posture of the lady merely indicated that she wanted the music master to leave quickly. She didn't like such words for her son. When he had clattered off in his new chappals, clattered off means gone off noisily. When he went out, means the music master went out wearing those that new chappals. She said, Mridu, come in and have some tiffin. Come in and take the lunch. Honestly, how do you children think of such things? She inquired from Mridu. How do you children think such things? Thank God your Gopu Mama does not wear his chappals to work. Your uncle Gopu Mama does not wear the chappals for the work. As she walked towards the kitchen with Mridu and Meena, she suddenly began to laugh. Then she started laughing suddenly because some thought came to her mind. It was related to Gopu Mama, who does not wear chappals to work, but he has always in such a hurry to throw off his shoes and socks and get into his chappals. So as soon as he comes home, but it suddenly comes to her mind that whenever he comes home from work, he throws his shoes and socks and immediately wears those chappals. Now, what is your mama going to say this evening when I tell him I gave his chappals to the music master? What would be the response? What will the reaction of Gopu Mama when he would come to know that his chappals have been given to the music master? Will be seen in the evening only. So this was the chapter, dear students, by Vasanta Surya from Mridu in Madras. Goruchaka turns up like. Okay, so here is the comprehension check exercise for you to do at home. You will write down the answers to these questions. And this is working with text. You have to do it in the textbook only. You have to complete these sentences, finding out the exact answer from the text of the lesson. And here are other question answers. Describe the music teacher as seen from the window, so and so. What makes Ridu conclude that Ridu has money, that beggar has no money to buy chappals? These are the question answers. Okay, you have to note them down and then you will write down the answers. And these are 7 questions. Then working with the language, here is some work related to the grammar. Just see it and here fill in the blanks which are to be done in the textbook only, and you have to solve them. This will be your test. Okay, this is the part of the test for you students. You will be solving these, fill in the blanks. Again, this is one more exercise for you to do in the form of a test. Okay, and here is another test. What do you enjoy doing after school? I enjoy, you have to write the answer. What do you like in general? I like, you have to write the answer. These are sum total 8 points. You have to solve them. Okay, so in this way, this chapter number 2 of your book is already finished. I hope you might have understood everything, and now if you are having any problems, you may make a call to me and keep doing your work, as well as answer the questions given for the test and write down the exercise questions in your notebooks. If you find any problem, you may make call. Stay safe, stay happy, keep doing your work, stay healthy. It was your teacher Narendra Kumar, PZ English, Kendriya Vidyalaya Naleti. Thank you. Have a good day.